Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start a new chapter of industrial chemistry. This is the fourth chapter. The name is Petrochemical and Eco-Friendly Fuels. Here you can see these are all the petrochemical industries, and here this is the eco-friendly fuel. First, we are going to learn the petrochemicals. So let's start with the introduction and occurrence of the petroleum. Here the word petroleum, you can see here the word petroleum is derived from a Latin word called petra. Petra means what? Rock. Petra. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. That means the petroleum is an oil obtained from a stock. Oil obtained from a stock. Petroleum is a mixture of hydrocarbons, that is hydrogen and what? The carbon, that is called as a hydrocarbon. The petroleum is one of the important source of the power. Here the petrochemical are a chemical products derived from petroleum. Petrochemical, that is the product derived from chemical um, chemical product derived from the petroleum. Some chemical compound made from petroleum are also obtained from other fossil fuels such as coal and natural gases, or also renewable sources such as corn or sugarcane. The two most important petrochemical are classified as olefin, olefin and hydrocarbon. Sorry, and aromatic compound and aromatic compound. Aromatic compounds. Here the oil refineries produce olefin and aromatic by liquid catalytic cracking of the petroleum fraction. The chemical plant produces olefin by steam cracking of the natural gas, and the aromatics are produced by catalytic reforming of naphtha. Here, let we learn some occurrence of the petroleum. You can see in this diagram, here this is the earth crust. Okay, here the petroleum is present below or in a earth crust. Here there are the number of layer it's present in the earth crust. First, this is the first layer, that is called as the earth crust. Next, below to that there is a shale is there. Below to that there is a impervious rock is there, and in between two impervious rock, here this is and this one, both are the impervious rock. Between to that there is a petroleum are present. Here the petroleum are found normally at a great depth underground, also below the seabed. That means the petroleum are also present in the earth crust and also in under the or below the sea. Here the petroleum are a natural, and the natural gases are formed by a anaerobic decomposition of remains of organism, including phytoplankton and zooplankton, that settle to the sea or also lake bottom in a large quantity under anoxic condition. The million of year ago, over a geological time, this organic matter mixed with the mud and got buried under heavy layer of sediments. Here the petrochemicals occur in a fossil fuel. They are formed by a natural process such as anaerobic decomposition of buried dead organism. That means in the earth crust, how these petrochemicals are formed by the decomposition of buried dead organisms. The age of the organisms and their resulting fossil fuel is typically millions of year, that is about 650 millions year. That means to prepare the petroleums, the fossil fuels has to decompose, and for decomposition of these fossil fuels or decomposition of that organism required the millions of the year. It contain a percentage of carbon and include a coal, petroleum and the natural gas. Here this is a drilling ring is there. You can see here drilling ring. Whenever you drill, you has to drill uh, what first into the earth crust, then shale, and then impervious rock, and then you get the petroleum. Here with the petroleum you get the number of other compound, that is what, the coal, then petroleum, here petroleum and natural gas. Okay, here this is about the occurrence of the petroleum. Next here we are going to learn the composition and processing of a petroleum. The important industrial liquid fuel are the product of petroleum refining. The calorific value of the petroleum is about 40 is about 40,000 kilojoule per kg. This is the calorific value. The petroleum is a complex mixture of various hydrocarbons. It includes some saturated, unsaturated, cyclic and aromatic hydrocarbon. The crude petroleum, which also is a thick viscous oil having a color green to reddish brown to dark brown. Instead of that, this process also we get the another small amount of compounds, that is nitrogen, sulfur, dissolved gases, etc. The crude oil obtained from mines is not fit for use. Let me learn the refining of petroleum. Here this is a tank, that is called as a refining tank. Okay, we get the petroleum from the earth crust and separate out the different number of petroleum by the process that is called as a refining. Then what is the refining of petroleum? The process by which petroleum is separated into a different fraction having a different boiling point, it's called a refining of petroleum. You can see in this picture, in this diagram, there are the different fraction is there. You can see here different fraction are there, having a different temperature. You can see here there are the different temperatures, 70, 120, 260. At this different temperature, the oil or the petroleum are separate out. That is called as a refining of petroleum. This question always asked in your examination, that is what is refining of petroleum. Then what is the refining of petroleum? The process by which petroleum is separated into a different fraction having different boiling point, is called refining of petroleum. Let me learn the refining of petroleum. Here for refining of petroleum we use the process that is called as a pipe steel process. Here we use the process that is pipe steel process. For refining of petroleum we use the process that is called as what? Pipe steel process. So let's start. Here the crude oil is pumped under pressure to a cylindrical tank, okay, through underground pipe. In this tank the emulsion is allowed to settle, as a result of which the emulsion is broken into two separate layers. The oil is separated at the top layer, oil is separated to the top layer, while the wet sand, that is the sand with the water, form to a lower layer. Both layers are separated, withdrawn. The crude oil, which is to the top layer here, is then heated to about 400 degrees Celsius. It heated about 400 degrees Celsius in an iron retort. The hot vapor coming out of a retort are passed up to a tall vertical tower. This is a tall vertical tower, okay, called as fractionating tower. This tower, there are the different fraction, you can see here there are the different fractions are there. That's why this tower is called as a fractionating tower, okay. Next, there is the tower fitted with a large number of horizontal tray at a short distance. These are the horizontal tray. You can see here these are the tray, horizontal tray, okay, with a small distance. There are the very small distance, okay. Next, that is here, this each tray is provided with a chimney with a cover with a loose tray cap. As the vapor goes up, as the vapor is goes up, then what happen here? They become cooler and fractional decondenses takes place at different height of a fractionating column. The fraction is here whenever you heat, this is there is a heater. Whenever you provide the heat to this tower, then what happen? The liquid which having a low boiling point, which is vaporized and goes to the upper side. And at this fractionating, here at the upper side, there is this at this fraction, here this liquid get cooled down and we can this separate out, okay. Here at high boiling fraction, condensed first, and low boiling fraction, condensed turn by turn. First the high boiling fraction, which is condensed first, okay, and the low boiling fraction is condensed turn by turn. The residue left in the retort above 400 degrees Celsius is a black and tarry mass called asphalt or pitch, used for making paint, road making, and waterproofing of the roof. The petroleum gas consists of mainly volatile hydrocarbon such as methane, ethane, propane, etc. The gas can be liquefied under pressure and sold as a bottle gas. It is also known as liquid petroleum gas, used for domestic purpose. Let's we start here. After fractionating, whenever we heat from this tank, the temperature is goes to the upper temperature goes to this tank, and then what happen here? The low boiling liquid get vaporized and go to the higher tank, go to the higher position of the tank here, and then at this position they cool down, and then again convert into the liquid state, and we can transfer it, okay. We can separate out it. Here at the top, there is at the 20 degrees Celsius temperature, there is a removal of what? Refinery gases. And these refinery gases, that is what? The liquefied under pressure, and so that refinery gases we can call as a liquid petroleum gas. This is used for what? Fuel or domestic purpose. Next to that, at the 70 degrees Celsius temperature, there is a removal of what? Petrol. And this petrol is used in a car. After that, at 120 degrees Celsius temperature, here there is a removal of naphtha gas, okay. This naphtha is used to make different types of the chemicals. Next, at 180 degrees Celsius temperature, there is a removal of kerosene. This kerosene is used as what? As a fuel, and also paraffin for the heating and lighting. After that, at 260 degrees Celsius temperature, there is a removal of what? Diesel. This diesel is used for a diesel engine. Okay, next to that, here the lubricating oil is removed at what, the 300 degrees Celsius temperature. This lubricating oil, which is used as the oil for car and other machine, lubricant for the car and the machines. Okay, next that, there is a fuel oil. This is removed at 350 degrees Celsius temperature. Here this fuel oil, which is used as a fuel for ship and factories, and at the bottom there is some residues which is removed. That residue is what, heavy oil. Thus heavy oil contains lubricating oil, petroleum jelly, grease and paraffin wax. Okay, these are used for making of bitumen, asphalt. Also uh, this is used as a lubricant in a medicine and also the cosmetics. This is all about what, the composition and the processing of petroleum. Thank you very much for watching this lecture. Next lecture we will learn the classification of petrochemicals and also their petrochemical feedstock sources. Okay, thanks for watching this lecture.